Join me today as I show you how I use Loopy Pro and a bunch of other apps to turn my iPad into a music-making monster. Let's go. So here I've already got, some noises I've been working on. But how it's broken up is we've got instrument pages for chord, lead, and bass that are all the same, more or less. The drum page is a little bit different. We can control FAC drum kit here, where we've got different drum sounds that you can customize and change the volume of. You've got beat surfing, where you can open beat surfing maps. It's just a different way of drumming. Let's see if we can do that. Let's see if we can turn that up a little. So we've got beat surfing. And then if I want to do my sequenced drums, we've got patterning. Just I'm going to go ahead and mute all my other tracks here and hit play so you can see patterning spin around. There's the general idea. You can make a new pattern, put 4 on the floor. These, and we'll just put it on auto rotate. Get a little bit of something different going on. So it's not a whole patterning demo, so we'll stop there on patterning. And we can mute patterning, we can mute beat surfing. That way when I hit play, we won't hear anything now. We've got, let's go over to our bass page. We can turn on this MIDI track that we've got right here where we can record MIDI notes in. I've already recorded some notes in there, it looks like. Ooh, but we're not hearing anything for 2 reasons. This track's gray because I need to unmute my pink bass channel. We're still not hearing anything because we got 2 instruments to choose from here. We'll go ahead and turn that down. That was a one-shot recorder, so it's actually recording these notes into a one-shot, and I can just play them back if I want. But anyway, back to the instruments. We got 2 to choose from. Right now I've got loaded up the Korg Chicago and one of my favorites, Animoog Z. So let's go ahead and turn on Animoog. That's the purple one. Let's turn that on. Let's see what we hear. We can turn it up a little. But yeah, if I ever want to change that, I can just spin these wheels and get different presets. Or you can open this up and actually, that's one thing. I need to get a faster iPad. Sometimes you have crashes, but it's pretty good. I think it's just because it's initializing for the first time. I love this didgeridoo. There's a lot of stuff here. But what's fun about having these 2 instruments is you can easily layer them. So let's find something we like here. So let's do that. We've got the Chicago right here set up with some automations. So I've got these little XY pads set to my filter cutoff peak by envelope. So we can record those automations over here. Let's just do a 1-bar loop and let's record some automation. So now that'll just happen. We can turn this down, turn that up. You got yourself a fun little bass line. If we want to get nuts, we can go ahead and we can either threshold, retrospective, or regular record. Let's just do regular for now to not make it too confusing. Let's record a 4-bar loop of this into audio. Now why do I do that? I do that to save on a little processing power. Now I can turn these instruments off. I can stop this automation. It's a lot lighter on my processor. So now I can go mess with other stuff, or I can turn on this filter if I want to add even more nonsense. We'll start with just default get this to go away. So yeah, this XY pad is this. So I can either automate and record a filter path in if I want, and then it should just replay that for me. Or we can clear that automation, and we can use, I've got little wheels built right here if we want, that just turns up the LFO amount on this filter, a little peak on it, and we can turn up the LFO frequency if you want. I don't know, you get the idea, there's a lot of options. So let's go over to the lead page. I don't know what other noises we've already got going on here. Let's just listen to them for fun. Just some noises. Let's get rid of this. Let's show off GeoShred. We've got some urus here. I think that's how you say it. What's fun about that is I've got my keyboard set up here where if I go to this, now since I'm on the lead page, if I set this to retrospective record, let's set it to regular record. If I single tap this button, it'll record my next MIDI. If I double tap it, it'll record my next audio. Let's set it to retrospective. We'll set it to a 4-bar loop. Let's shut off, let's leave that on. Never mind, let's shut it off. Anyway, so if we've got a 4-bar loop going on, let's go ahead and turn on that. And let's get ripping on just making noise. So since I double tap that, it'll just catch that last 4 bars that I looped. And that's kind of fun too when you turn on these filters. Or let's say we don't want to do a filter. Let's turn the filter off. Let's hit the Send FX button. We'll send this to the FX page. Let's go over there. I'll turn on the FX so we can hear it. Let's hit reset and turn up our clean audio signal that I've got represented by a sponge. So I've got a lot of different effects apps on this page. We've got, let's just start with transit. I got the little snowy theme. So we'll turn off our clean signal. We'll turn on our transit signal. This is all going through some buses. Here's my, my mixer where all that happens. But anywho, now that we've got transit audio going, we can use this slider to add transit effects if we want. We can spin this to pick different transit presets, or we can double click it. Maybe you can double click that. That'll bring up transit to where you can actually pick your preset, or you can go over here and create your own preset chains. So now that that's done, I can turn that off. Let's check out Perforator. I love using Perforator. That's this one. It's basically a gate, a rhythmic gate. But you can get a lot of fun out of that. And just add some drums. Now let's try out some beat surfing. So let's turn this off. Oh, we gotta hit idle. I don't know how well it works with that lead, so let's turn that off. gotta turn drum on to be able to hear that. I was just got my keyboard set up to be able to record stuff like that in. So now we can open up Beat Surf and do what we want. We've got that. Let's change to a 1-bar loop and add something else. What do we got? Didn't have to be all from this kit. Let's pick a different kit because I actually don't like that kit that much. I don't think I like this kit that much either, but let's do it. Any good? I was just looking for some kind of high end. Oh well, I'm not gonna keep doing that for you. I mean, I guess we could slightly, just for fun, so I can show you that. I was going to show you how we can mix our drum tracks. Let's use New School Starter, it's usually pretty good. There we go. Let's add some of that. So we just added that. Let's see what else we can add. There we go, we got that added. So now that we've got some different drum tracks added, let's go ahead and just mute this so we don't have to hear it anymore. Or let's send it to FX, make it more interesting. That's too choppy. Distracted there. I was showing you the drums. Oh, shoot. Let's go back to drums. So now we can like turn off these parts individually if we want. Or we can put the little chicken where they're all start at the same time in sequence. The snail stops them. And the snake does a little switch up. So if we've got like, let's say we turn this one off, we turn this one off, we can do a little switch up with the snake. And of course we can record all of that right down here. It's been recording since we had retrospective ripping. Let's snake that to flip it over. Now we're just listening to my recorded loop right here. At the risk of this video going too long, let's go ahead and stop this bass line, and let me just lastly show you a couple things on the chords page here. What's going on the chords page? We've got our chord set generator that I like to use. You can set your key or whatever. Let's just stick with that. And Spacewalk will generate chords for us. We can do 2-bar loops. Let's just do a 8-bar length. Now we've got some chords going. Let's go back to the drum page and take the heat off of this a little. We can hear this better. Oh, let's see, what are we running? We're running a guitar. Let's change that preset. Let's just go ahead and stop the drums for now. SampleScape is pretty great for these layered sounds. Still need to learn to use it a little bit better, but it's got a lot of great presets in it as well. So you can spin my wheel, get different presets. And again, like all the other pages, we can layer a second instrument or just use that second instrument if we want. What is the second instrument? It's a guitar on this page, which is the Santa Ana by Korg. Let's go ahead and mute SoundScape so you can hear that guitar. Now the Santa Ana has a lot of riffs and whatnot. So yeah, that's just gonna take the chords from Space Walk and make you a little rhythm track out of it. It's kind of a fun one. So here you've got, you can use different amp models. Add some chorus. If you want delay, you could. It's going to make it sound messy. Sounds good with the widener like that. Let's go back to beat surfing. You got yourself just boatloads of fun right there. We do have a chord map page right here where I can record these chords that the generator is making into a bunch of pads. And that might be handy if I want to play back the chords myself in a particular order, which I can record into these sequences up here and play back. I'm just going to let this populate a little bit. I'll stop it there. So now if we go over here and turn off the generator, it's not actually making those noises anymore unless I hit the buttons. Anyway, so there's that. Get this to stop. It always happens. But yeah, you could like record a little 4-bar loop of this if you wanted to. And it'll just play that right back. It wasn't particularly good. I'll just turn the generator back on for now. The generator, of course, you can create variations and stuff here as well. You can do all kinds of things. I like the way as well that it's got it low. It lets you know that Dorian is warm and jazzy, and Major is bright and uplifting. Lydian is dreamy and ethereal. It kind of just helps you learn, in my opinion. Let's get rid of natural smoothness. It's getting obnoxious, so let's change that. What would be the last thing? I guess the vocals page, right? So let's see what vocal we use. Let's reset these things. Let's pick a vocal. Let's samples, vocal samples. They're just random things that I have. Let's pick Alien Worlds. I guess we'll do Sky Grazers. Let's import that sample and give it a listen.
And where there are seeds, there are sky grazers.
Now it sounds a little funny, so let me go here to my mixer and check purple and see what we got going on. We got a couple of effects going. Make sure that one's off. This one's on, so let's turn that off. It should sound more normal.
Giant herbivores with 6 wings, with six wings.
So we've got a little clip slicer here.
And where ride on the depot of air, pillow of air, pillow of air. And where pillow of air, and where the pillow of air. And where there are seeds.
And so anything that's playing from that, if I hold here, I can record into a little one shot.
Herbivores with 6 wings.
So let's just catch that.
Ride on the dense pillow of air. And where there are seeds, there are sky grazers.
So there we go. We've got a couple of one shots here now. We can
There are
trim
sky
those
grazers, giant
pretty
herbivores
easily.
with 6 wings, and to ride
go ahead and
giant
just do that.
herbivores with 6 wings.
There we go. Now we can record that into here.
Giant herbivores with 6 wings. Pillow of air. And pillow of air. Giant herbivores with 6 wings. There are sky grazers. Pillow of air. And pillow of air. Giant herbivores with 6 herbivores with 6 There are sky grazers. Pillow of air.
So there you go. You got that. You can combine these if you want. Let's go ahead and just turn the volume down on this one first and then combine them.
There are sky grazers. 6 wings.
There we go. Isn't that nice?
There are sky grazers. 6
I
wings.
forget what that dice even does. I have to look into that. You can make whatever button you want, so you kind of forget. I've got all these effects and stuff if you want.
There are sky grazers.
I don't know, I'll figure it out. Oh, that only affects the pre, not the post. If I wanted to do that, I have to slide it up here. Get this ripping.
There are sky grazers. 6
There you go. You can really mess things up. I don't know if I showed you as well. We've got pitch and speed control on all this stuff. Oh, okay. We're double affecting, so let's turn that off. We can pitch. And we're changing the pitch without changing, it's actually time stretching, which is really nice. Let's turn this one on instead. You can hear it a little bit. So it's really helpful to sync things up that way, because you can make it add whatever pitch and speed you want. Make this really weird noise. Alright, we got that. We could send that to FX. Why not? And now you've got a lot of nonsense. We got flux going. Flux is kind of like perforator, but it works more on like an amplitude curve rather than a solid like gate to cut off the sound essentially. Kind of fun. Lastly, as long as we're here, I might as well show you we've got transit ripping, which is really if you want to mess noises up. Like, I don't know, it's kind of cool. It seems powerful. Tornado, but it's a little nutty if you ask me. Well, of course that's kind of fun, but you can just really mess around here for a while. Lastly, we've also got, I know I keep saying lastly, but we got TC11 here, which I wish it was an AUV3, but it's still kind of fun. I like to pretend to use it. It's pretty in depth. So we'll go back over here. Now if I hit that, we can actually record this in that loop. Up here we can select as well, like if we want a 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, or 32 bar loop. Let's go 1 just for the satisfaction of shortness and happy accidents. Go. I mean, we got something kind of usable there. You can kind of hear it if we turn this up. That was the one we got. And just for the final satisfaction of this, let's just add one more thing here. Can't help it. All right. Let's hit play on this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, so that's the gist of it. Oh, one more lastly. Once we've got all these nutty little bits on all of our little different instrument pages ready, we can send them over to the sequence page. Every page has their own little button. Let's see, like that little doo-doo-doo noise, right? If I want that one. And from the effects page, there's actually a send to sequence for every kind of track, but all the other singular pages have a send page, a send button right there to send it to sequence. But for example, we'll send this noise to the next empty white track on the sequence page. So it's right there now. You can't hear it because I have to turn on the sequence page. Let's turn off all the other pages so we don't have to listen to them. Let's go ahead and make sure our drums are shut off as well. What else are we hearing? Oh, the chord map. I have chord generator. There you go. We've turned off the chord generator now. Oh, I think we're also hearing tornado. All right. Sometimes tornado will like continue to make noises like that. It's like in a loop. Anyway, so now we've got this page. We can turn on our individual tracks here. We can bring them all in together as a group. There's probably some noises I was just messing around with before. Which one is that weird noise? Oh, I see. I'm hearing one of these filters acting a fool. Let's turn those off. There we go. Here's a little, I guess, a little song I was messing with the other day.
The neighborhood watch, you'll find that we run a very tight ship here. It's closed. We are going to be throwing balls into very goodies and around loitering.
Of course, we can record all of these sequences into the sequence arranger here. So that's the whole point of that page, is you can come through here, play your clips, record it into the sequence editor, and you can make a song that way. Let's go ahead and switch back. 2, 3, 4.
1 o'clock.
So yeah, you can take these clips and go and throw them back over here, add a transition effect. I might come and add some transition effects to this page, but I'm at the risk of overwhelming the very cheapest iPad I could find. It's not the cheapest, but it's a pretty good iPad, but it's also bare bones for, I forget which iPad it even is. It's the USB-C one, whichever one came with that originally. But it works pretty great for all this if you mostly work with audio clips and you keep your instruments turned off. So that'll save processing if I go through here and turn all those instruments off. And lastly, let's just switch back to this, where we got lots of noise. I've added the song stop button. This is the real lastly this time. I won't show you the boost and fade. That's just a boost and fade these out. But let's stop the song. Once you hit that, instead of harshly stopping the song, it'll finish the clips and then it'll start a micro fade. So just gently like fade you out on the song. Cool. So if you made it this far, I appreciate you watching. I know this has been a bit of a walkthrough, a bit hectic. But if you like this kind of content, give me a subscribe and I'll make more. Any requests, you want to see any details further, if you'd like to watch the arduous process of setting all this up, I can show you that too. But it's really fun setting it up for me. I love when I play with this and I say, hey, you know, oh, that empty spot, wouldn't it be nice if I could add a button right there? And oh, you sure can. It's just, you got a button. You click the button, you can make the button do anything you want. So not only do you have buttons, you've got clips, loops, audio loops, MIDI loops, and then you got one-shot audio, one-shot MIDI, buttons. You've got these kind of volume slider things. You know, it's like a donut. I guess we got them right here too. And then you got rotary encoders, sliders. You've got these XY grids. You got clip slicers and radio buttons, or button grids if you wanted to do a bunch of buttons in a grid. I might actually have to try that. I don't think I used those yet. We've got these stepped encoders where you can add as many steps as you want basically and have each step have a different function. You know, you can change the color of anything to make it pretty. And you can add text if you want. When you add text, the text, believe it or not, is actually a button as well. If you want, you can have functions, and it's not just a push. You can push, you can have it on release, double taps, long swipes, 2-finger taps. You can swipe in general or in a particular direction. You can have a swipe do something. Like for my drums, when I swipe down, it brings up patterning. When I swipe left, it's beat surfing. When I swipe up, it's FAC drum kit. And I can control FAC drum kit with patterning and beat surfing. So I can set up my drum kit and tweak it here. I digress. And on any of these, if I swipe right, it takes me to that page. And again, like so, swipe right, swipe down, swipe left, swipe up. So each page has 2 instruments. Up and left will open those instruments, and right will open the page. So it's just nuts, the amount of what you can do, especially now that they've added MIDI. You can do automations. I like it better than a regular DAW experience, but I'm not a guy that spent a ton of time in a regular DAW experience, and I don't know. Thanks for watching.